Hey, what's up, guys? Let's do a quick gamblers alert, man. Haven't done one in a while. I want to talk about the only fight coming up this weekend that I am playing. I have already placed a wager. And I want to talk about some fights that I discussed a couple days ago, some odds that have been posted, and what I think about them. All right. The headliner for this weekend's UFC card is Anthony Pettis versus Dustin Poirier. All right. Currently, uh, Anthony Pettis is the betting favorite. Dustin Poirier, depending on your casino, I am seeing pretty much all of them have him close to even money, or you can get even money. I'm seeing one place you can still get better than even money. When I got in on him, he was at a plus 105. That was the opening line at my casino. All right, and I don't know why. I thought that was great value because if I was making this line, Dustin Poirier would be the favorite. Uh, He would not be a 2-1 favorite. He would not. I don't even think he would be a minus 150 favorite. But I would have him favored to win this fight. Probably by maybe a minus 120 or so, something along those lines. The odds would basically be reversed. Anthony Pettis would probably be just a little bit better than even money on the as underdog play. But look, I have been more of a fan of Anthony Pettis than Dustin Poirier. Dustin Poirier is a Louisiana guy, but I haven't necessarily been one to root for him. Not that the guy ever did or said anything, but I don't know. I just wasn't a big fan of his. I certainly wish him the best because he is a local guy, but I was definitely more of a fan of Pettis. When Pettis was at his peak and in his prime, man, the guy was amazing, man. Pound for pound, one of the best. He was finishing a lot of guys in the first round, but those days are long gone. Um, you know, since he beat Gilbert Melendez when he defended his title for successfully, the one and only time, his UFC title, and ever since that fight, he has been 2-4, 2-4 in his last 6 fights. He after he beat Gilbert, he went on and he lost his title to RDA, and then he lost to Eddie Alvarez, and he lost to Edson Barboza. All right. He got a win over Charles Oliveira on Fox. Barely. He went down to 145 pounds. It being in the later stages of his career. After being fighting for so many years, he decided to drop weight. And he was losing that fight, and he pulled off a choke in the third round. Basically a come from behind victory. After that fight, somehow, some way, he got a fight against Max Holloway for an interim title, and he got stopped for the first time in his career. All right. And then after that, back in July of this year, 2017, he got a unanimous decision win over Jim Miller. I saw that fight. Yes, he won that fight. But I did not see the Anthony Pettis of old. I did not look at Anthony Pettis and think, damn, Anthony Pettis is back. I saw, a declined guy who beat a guy who was even more declined in Jim Miller. Let's just be blunt about it. All right. Jim Miller, he's at the end of his road. All right. So 2-4 in his last 6 fights, but yet he is the favorite. Why? Because of who he once was, because he was a champion, because he won his last fight. I'm not seeing the old Anthony Pettis or the prime Anthony Pettis show up in this fight. On the flip side, Dustin Poirier, he is 2 years younger at 28. They are the same height. Dustin Poirier, ever since he got knocked out by Conor McGregor back in 2014, September 2014, he is 5-1-1 in his last 7 fights. 5-1-1. His only loss coming by knockout in the first round to Michael Johnson. And he, of course, had a no contest in his last fight with Eddie Alvarez, which I was not pleased, not happy with Dustin Porier in this fight. He was putting it on Eddie Alvarez. He was winning that fight. And, as we know, Eddie Alvarez, the underground king, he's a tough guy. He's tough to put away. He was making a comeback in the second round. He was putting it on Porier. And, Porier, in my opinion, he wanted out. He tried to get, just like Chris Weidman, he tried to get a DQ win, dropping down to his knees, trying to be a downed opponent while the guy was putting on him. So, and that, looking at it that way, I could be making a risk in putting money on such a guy. But, I definitely see Porier as being more of a prime guy than Anthony Pettis. And I believe if he won this fight, this would be the biggest win of his career. Because I do not believe he has beaten any former UFC champions. Let's see. It looks like he had a win over Max Holloway back in 2012, but that was way back, way back when. Holloway is in his young prime now. Holloway was a very young guy at the time. So if you're looking at as far as the biggest names, biggest wins on his resume, I'm seeing Holloway. And that is probably the only major big champion. That was a long time ago. So, Pettis was once a prime UFC champion. He was pound for pound one of the best, stopping guys in the first round often. If Anthony Pettis was in his prime, he would be, at least a -400 favorite in this fight. That's when Anthony Pettis was in his prime. And Dustin Porier would be a much bigger underdog, man. Like I said, Porier is 5-1-1 in his last 6 fights, man. Definitely seems to be a more prime guy in my opinion. So I think that is good value to play Dustin Porier. I'm expecting him to win this fight. All right, now let's talk about some of the odds that have been posted for some potential upcoming fights. As I talked about after GSP beat Bisping, I said that I would be looking for the line with Robert Whittaker, and Bovada released a line. According to BestFightOdds.com, when this line was set, GSP opened as a -165 favorite. I got the email as soon as the line was posted. Robert Whittaker opened as a +135 underdog. Well, it did not take long, not long at all, for that line to shift. Looks like that line was posted around 3 p.m. on Tuesday, November 7th, 2017. Before the hour was up, the odds had completely reversed. As of now, Robert Whittaker is a -165 favorite to GSP being a +135 underdog. Gamblers are smart. Gamblers are looking at this the way that I am. I saw a not prime GSP, a guy who had enough to beat a faded Bisping, a guy who I never really thought was really that great. Even though I respect him as being a tough guy, and yes, he did win a title. But, fighting a prime guy in Robert Whittaker, man, I think would be a nightmare for GSP. And, unfortunately for me, people that put money on Whittaker now, when other casinos post lines, I'm pretty sure they will probably be similar. I doubt that I would be able to get underdog money on Robert Whittaker, but I personally wait for these fights to become official before I'm placing big wagers. So yes, and I still favor Robert Whittaker to win that fight. So gamblers, they went in, they got that good underdog money on Robert Whittaker. Now he's the favorite. All right. Also, Bovada released a line for Mighty Mouse versus TJ Dillashaw. And, I actually thought the odds would be a little bit closer than what they are. Yes, they are showing TJ Dillashaw some respect. He is only a plus 160 underdog, while Mighty Mouse is a minus 200 favorite. I thought that the odds would be a little bit closer. I thought that, DJ would probably be a slight favorite. Maybe, somewhere in the minus 125 to minus 145 range, while TJ was an underdog. But, no, they got him at a minus 200 favorite. And, which, yes, I am favoring him to win that fight. TJ Dillashaw, I don't know what TJ's age is, but he's been fighting for a while now. And he is talking about dropping down to 125. This guy's going to be weighing 125 pounds for the first time in, ain't no telling how many years. When the last time this guy naturally weighed 125 pounds. It could have been many years ago. Possibly, most likely, more than 10 years ago at this point. So, yes, and I think that would hurt Dillashaw. And overall, I perceive and see that Mighty Mouse is the better fighter, the more technical skilled guy, the better athlete, the faster guy. And, combine that with the weight cut of a TJ Dillashaw to try to make this fight at 125. Yes, I favor Mighty Mouse to win that fight. All right. And this one I did not talk about before, but since there is a line posted for it, maybe Bovada just released this line also. But there is a line for Conor McGregor versus GSP. They have GSP as a minus 150 favorite over Conor McGregor at a plus 120. As I thought about this fight before doing this video, I give Conor McGregor a shot at winning that fight. He just basically his takedown defense would have to be superb. It would have to be superb and or he would need to catch George early on the feet. With that monster left hand of his. We saw George get touched up a couple of times by Bisping, got hit flush a couple of times. Not the fastest guy in a Michael Bisping. So GSP's reflexes, not prime. His speed and his footwork were not prime. But yes, as we all know, that he can get the takedown. So Conor's takedown defense, man. If it is superb, and if he can catch GSP early, he's got a shot at winning that fight. Depending on what the prop would be, I probably would put a little something on Conor to win by stoppage, by knockout. I think that would be his only way. GSP. I'm pretty sure if they made that fight, it would probably be at 170. And then you got to factor in GSP, put on that muscle mass, moving up to middleweight, cutting back down to 170. That's going to hurt him. So, it could be that could be a good night for Conor McGregor. Hell, I think I would try to shoot for that fight if I was Conor, man. I would shoot for that fight. Hell, I may even would that'd be a good reason to relinquish, give up the lightweight championship. Say I'd rather fight GSP, and in a big money fight and not be tied down by a belt. He get out of fighting Tony Ferguson. So that's a thought, man. So that's it. If there are any other odds that pop up, they catch my attention, I will come on and talk about them. Let me know what you guys think about them. And I'll check in with you guys soon, man. Thanks for watching.